fucking say it too.
Now, you ready?
Okay, we're ready. George has something that he wants to ask us that he thinks is going to fucking kind of. And Jimmy was like saying, "Well, you need to tell us before the show."
I got crap.
He goes like this. I don't know why I'm going to say this shit in front of him. We're like,
I got to come up with this off the top of my head. How am I going to do that?
That's preposterous.
I'm not as good as those two.
Right. Okay, so what is this fucking question?
Here it is.
Okay.
We all know GSP is getting ready to fight Jake Shields.
Right.
They're doing a giant promo during the fight.
Uh-huh.
And then the big hype is when GSP wins this fight, he's going to have to go fight Anderson Silva. Now, I've been adamant on the show about he's a bitch and he wants to take 6 months off. And what if GSP tanks the fight to Jake Shields and loses on purpose?
I don't see anybody tanking a fight.
Why?
I mean, least of all.
What if he does? No. My thing is if
he loses his own purpose?
Yeah. Because he doesn't want to fight Anderson. What if he's so? What? I'm just saying. What if?
But why would he not want? Why would he? My thing is why would he want to? Fuck. If him not fighting Anderson would just be like this to say, okay, I'm putting my reputation, my MMA reputation online. But if I lose the Shield, he's fucked it worse.
No. Jake Shields is going to this as an undefeated fighter, has never lost. He's beat some big names. They brought this guy in for you to challenge you. Mm-hmm. What if somehow, GSP goes in for a move and gets caught and gets choked out?
What about it?
Well, exactly. What if? But what if he?
So
what
are you
if he
saying
doesn't?
What if he loses, or what if he?
What if?
Purpose?
What if he loses on purpose? But
why would he lose on purpose?
Because he doesn't want to fight Anderson Silva.
But the only reason for him not to fight Anderson Silva would be simply because
I don't want to ruin my career.
Yeah, but he'll ruin his career if he loses to Jake Shields. In my opinion.
No, he won't. He lost to Matt Serra and came back, and now he's the greatest thing ever at 170. So if he loses this fight to Jake Shields, he automatically gets a rematch, and now we don't talk about him fighting Anderson Silva. That's the only thing. I don't think he's going to, but just say, what if?
I think, personally, if he loses to Jake Shields, either way, I think he's fucked. I think he's more fucked than if he wins it. Anderson Silva is a big guy who fights at middle and fights at light heavy.
And
that's why
I expect GSP to win that.
No one expects
even if it happens.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like me versus Superman.
But Jake Shields is also a fighter who's fought at 185 and now coming down to 170.
Yeah.
Jake Shields made his career at 185.
Yeah, but
so if he comes down and beats GSP,
well, this is the thing. You have to look at it like this. The last time Jake Shields fought at 170, what happened?
He struggled because that was his first time fighting at 170.
Right, but he's doing it again. So he was not impressive.
But what if he comes out and beats him?
If he beats him hands out without, then I think it fucks GSP up. Because all of a sudden he's fighting. This is why. Because he's fighting Jake Shields, who is a big guy that's coming down. And people, what they are like overlooking about Jake Shields is he's got awesome BJJ. He's like fucking the Diaz brothers. Those guys are nasty on the ground. If fucking GSP slips up, and I'm gonna say it, I know all the GSP boys are going to get on my ass, he will get fucking tapped out.
What did GSP just do against the guy who's supposed to be a better wrestler and have a better ground game than him?
Okay,
he beat
but
the fuck out of Koscheck, and Koscheck never got close to him.
Right, Koscheck is not as good as Koscheck is a great wrestler, just like Fitch is a great wrestler. But there comes a difference where you get a chance of being fucking like Frank Mir. Frank Mir is good at BJJ. He's not a great wrestler. You saw what happened. He did the first fight, right? Lesnar's the better wrestler, but what happened? He got tapped out. He got caught up
because he got caught.
He got caught. That's what I'm saying. That
okay. Then with that said, and we've seen this. We've seen guys with great BJJ and no wrestling. How is Jake Shields going to get GSP in a position to tap him out? Because there's not a safer fighter in mixed martial arts than GSP. GSP is going to fight his fight, and he will get himself in a position.
GSP, which I'm too old to get. If I was to fight GSP as a fighter, the first thing I would do with GSP, I would fucking press. I would press the action. I would press
aggressive.
I would be aggressive as shit. Matt Serra caught him back. You know what I'm saying? If you give him time to study you and get you, if you saw what John Jones did last night. He kept measuring up distance. He was sitting there. That's giving a fighter time to think about what he's facing. If you're attacking someone right off the bat, like Vitor Belfort used to do motherfuckers back in the day, people are like, what the fuck happened to me? You lost, nigga. You just got knocked out. Okay, time to go home. Back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? They're like, really? Yeah,
that's
really.
not Jake Shields' game. Jake Shields doesn't press.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is I don't think Jake Shields will ever have an opportunity in this fight to get his BJJ in place to try to win him the fight. And that's hands down the only way. Because GSP is going to use his length, pepper the shit out of him with jabs, and as soon as Jake Shields tries to shoot in, he's going to sprawl back let him back up, and beat the shit out of him. I think it's going to look exactly like the Josh Koscheck fight.
See, I think Shields has more weapons than Koscheck.
Is he bringing a bat and a fucking...
See, I disagree because Koscheck at least could take down. He didn't, but he had the potential to take down GSP. I don't see Jake Shields having the potential, or at 170, the strength.
But this is
to take him down.
the difference between wrestling and on the ground game. It doesn't matter if someone takes you down if you're crafty and BJJ. They can take you down, get the takedown, and all of a sudden you can get yourself in a position where you can get tapped the fuck out.
But GSP will not take him down because of that. That's what I'm asking.
So you're saying he's going to take him down, just let him up?
He thinks it's going to be a stand-up fight.
My question is how is Jake Shields going to get himself in the position to use his BJJ? Okay, so if Jake Shields goes out there and pulls guard and falls on his back, GSP's going to go, no.
Yeah.
And he's going to back up.
So
GSP, in my opinion, is going... I agree with you.
Right.
If Jake Shields can get in the position to use his BJJ, great.
Right. But
how is he going to do it?
Yeah.
My question is how?
Once he gets it down, get him in
Ask
the guard,
Gabriel
hold it.
Gonzaga. Gabriel Gonzaga's got great BJJ. He can't get anyone... I mean, his last fight, he laid on the back and asked the guy to jump into his guard.
No, his last fight he was snoring.
Wasn't it? I thought early on in that fight he was trying to get the fight to his back. No?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't see how Jake Shields is going to get into position to use his BJJ. But, so back to my thing. So if GSP loses his fight or does something abnormal, would you go,
I'll answer it. I mean, to me, if there's one thing, and I mean, I'm a GSP fan, but I look at it from a real
Moorhead
perspective.
fan.
Yeah,
Actually, a Moorhead fan first and a GSP fan second.
I think they're
But
He
one
just
and one
doesn't
A.
want Moorhead from GSP.
I think he does.
No, definitely not. But anyway, GSP is one of the most passionate people about winning. I mean, you can just tell when he talks about it, he truly is driven to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think he plays that aspect. He's a conservative fighter in that regard, because once he's got it in the bag, or once he knows he can do something to win, all he's concerned about is winning.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do halfway through what Jimmy was saying. I didn't. It's still rolling. Anyway, that's just me playing the conspiracy theory. Because I could honestly see, look, if I'm trying to duck a fighter, I might just... It's not...
I don't understand the thing of ducking a fighter to lose to a lesser fighter.
I don't think Jake Shields is a lesser fighter.
Even if Anderson Silva?
No. Look at it in the weight class. I'm not overall Jake Shields, no. But at the 170, Matt Serra's obviously a lesser fighter, but he fucking beat GSP. Yeah. My thing, if Jake Shields comes from 185, his second fight at 170, and if he beats GSP, Jake Shields has the BJJ to do it. Does he have the rest of the skills? Fuck no. But what if he does lose? No one's gonna get upset. They're gonna be like, all right, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But I agree, and I also agree with Jimmy. Do I think GSP is going to take a fight? No.
He just fights so smart.
Yeah, and he's.
That's why I get on his ass a lot. Not because I dislike him, because I think the guy is a phenom. You know, he's the best athlete in the UFC. But the thing is that ever since, and I don't care, anybody can fucking argue this with me, since Sarah caught him, he has said, I've got to be a little bit more conservative, which is smart.
Right.
But it's called for a boring fighter.
He tries as best he can within the context of his game plan to finish the fight, but he's got that running score in his head.
Right.
And he knows, I'm up.
Right.
I'm up. So I'm not going to press too much.
And that's another...
I'll try to finish, but I'm not going to go too far.
Whoa. Stop that.
Who?
No, he hadn't tried to finish shit. He hadn't tried to finish shit in the last 5 fights.
He tried for 2 minutes to try to hit Dan Hardy with an armbar.
And you know what?
I can't believe he didn't tap.
That's pathetic.
I tell you,
he had him in an armbar and couldn't tap him. That's pathetic.
Right. I tell you, the one person, the most impressive fight I've seen post Sarah's the first fight with Sarah is when he fought the last time he fought Penn. And being a BJ Penn fan,
he destroyed.
He destroyed BJ Penn.
But he's huge compared to BJ Penn.
He is.
To me, it was more impressive with what he just did to Josh Koscheck than he's done at all. He was fighting a fighter his same size, his same weight, a guy who doesn't bounce around weight classes.
To me, it was more impressive that Josh Koscheck got stolen his eye so hard and hung in there for another 4 rounds and fought GSP. A fighter that good without getting put away.
Right.
I give more credit. I give more credit to Josh Koscheck. He gets fucking macked in his eye.
Oh, see, I think that's GSP's fault because he didn't go in and ever attempt. GSP did not make one opportunity to stop that fight.
Was it GSP not being aggressive, or you think it was Koscheck just having a lot of heart?
Yeah, maybe a blend of both.
I think it was a combination of both. I mean, I told you, I think GSP only tries to finish when it's quote unquote convenient or smart.
Right.
He's not going to go out of his element to finish you. He's not going to go into a flurry or go into a rage.
Press this button, but I'm not going to.
George's Lex just wants to cut Jimmy fucking off, which he probably should have cut all of us off because this is literally a 8-hour show.
No, this segment right here is going to be its own video clip.
Yeah,
Let's be serious.
Right.
I mean, we'll put this up as GSP versus Jake Shields.
Right. Yeah.
So we just turned this video into 3 clips.
Right. Absolutely.
Watch all of them twice.
Yes.
To help us.
Yes. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. We're out.
Bye.
Later.